By the way, are we sure that that wasn't AI? Because that really seemed really on the nose, Black Maga. Like just no self-awareness. Oh no, that was a real life person. Wow, that's crazy. I need to be there. We need some cameras on her when she sees the fallout and who's affected. It's really going to shatter the spirits of the Black Magas to see white people struggling like this. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
So just because I don't want to work 20 hours a week, which is crazy. Can you imagine having to work 20 hours a week? So I don't want to work. You take all of my benefits away. The benefits that you have allowed me to use for 13 years.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
And let's be honest, after 2025, that's going to be a very long line.
Wait, what percentage of Trump voters do you think don't know that food stamps and SNAP benefits are the same thing? Is this an ACA Obamacare type situation? Oh my God. This is natural selection. We're watching it in real time. Because at least the ones on the left who rely on these benefits didn't vote to lose them. I just looked it up. Pennsylvania stopped giving these benefits on the 16th of October. They're going to starve their own citizens to avoid opening up the government and voting to release the Epstein files.
Ooh, Pennsylvania. That's looking about as shaky as Joel Embiid's knees. That's shakier than Aaron Rodgers come the cold of winter. Y'all know the headline, SNAP funding expiration to hit 40 million people. More than 40 million low-income food assistance beneficiaries are expected to receive less help with grocery bills or no help at all in the coming days. The USDA is threatening to withhold billions of dollars in Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program contingency funding, which Congress has already allocated for emergency scenarios if the government shutdown stretches into November. There is between $5 billion and $6 billion currently in that fund, experts say. On Friday, the USDA released guidance saying it won't use those funds to cover SNAP benefits if the government shutdown extends beyond October 31st, a move that appears designed to maximize the pressure on Senate Democrats to support a GOP spending bill to reopen the government. So just so we're clear, funds that have been already allocated by Congress, you know, separate branches of government, checks and balances, that kind of thing that you guys love to argue for on the right wing, already allocated by Congress. And now they want to withhold them to put pressure on Senate Democrats, yet they will still go on cable news and prosecute the case that it's the Democrats' fault on the loss of benefits. These are the facts. And yes, we live in a post-factual world.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Next thing you're going to tell me is the people that love to use the Constitution to take away people's rights are going to push for a third Trump term. In a memo first reported by Axios, the USDA said the reason is simple. The contingency fund was designed to respond to unforeseen events like natural disasters, and the current shutdown doesn't qualify because it was manufactured by Democrats. Y'all just couldn't help yourselves, could you? You just couldn't help yourselves, could you? I mean, you could try and make that argument, but not when you drop your nakedly partisan reasoning for doing so. Like, what? You know?
Bro, come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Hey, man, you see my $200? Yeah, I left it on the nightstand. I can't find it nowhere. I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it. I've been gone all day. I haven't seen $200 nowhere. By the way, you see my new Jordans? $200 downtown. And by the way, I know I might be dating myself with Jordans that cost $200. They might cost $800 now. I have no idea. The last time I spent good money on sneakers, it was Reebok pumps.
When I pump up, my size 13s get support, protection, and a custom fit.
The memo contradicts the shutdown plan prepared by USDA earlier in the year, which said the department is legally obligated to pay SNAP benefits in the event of a shutdown. The plan has since been deleted, and Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of USDA, had forecast a new policy in recent days, saying the burden is on Senate Democrats to liberate those funds by voting to end the shutdown. Brooke Rollins, USDA, are y'all under the impression that since you deleted the plan, we don't know that it existed? You thought it was a Men in Black situation? You didn't? You're having to learn the lesson that people that were posting slurs on MySpace when they were 12 had to learn the hard way, that the internet is forever. That's what our federal government is having to learn, that the internet is forever. And you're not the worst offender here. The fact that y'all are still prosecuting the case and shifting blame when you had to delete the plan so that you can make your argument that we all can see existed is wild. The fact that as a country, we are at an intelligence and a comprehensive level where they would even drag their behinds in front of a camera and make an argument as if the plan you deleted never existed. That's where we're at.
Oh man, hey.
Waiting to see the tweets from Maga saying their SNAP benefits were taken away. What? Maga on SNAP benefits? No.
Hey guys, look, if you're one of the creators on here complaining about your temporary loss of SNAP benefits and you're trying to figure out why you're not getting a ton of support and sympathy, it's because most of us recognize that what you're actually complaining about is no longer having access to our money, no longer having access to our money. Like that's really what you're complaining about.
Lock in, fuck niggas. We about to fact check this shit. First, if you fuck with me, check out that podcast. Let's get it. What the hell are you talking about? I think people are forgetting that SNAP benefits are literally a temporary fix. These programs have time limits, and after that time limit, you have to recertify to get back in the program. And the crazy part is, most people that are on SNAP are people like you and I. It was reported that 70% of people who have SNAP and Medicaid have full-time jobs, meaning most people on SNAP pays taxes. You are basically saying that just because an individual falls in hard times, they shouldn't join a program that they can benefit from, even if they paid for it. If you really want to know where your tax dollars are going to, it's the Department of Defense. In 2023, 5,000 of our taxpayer dollars went into the military. But you're mad that you potentially paid $500 for SNAP benefits? I mean, 70% of people who receive SNAP benefits are either elderly, children, or disabled. But we already know how you feel about disabled people. Reports also show that only 48% of people receive SNAP benefits for over 20 months. And I'm confused. I thought this was America first.
Wow, Maga, that's tough. Honestly, if you really want to be taken care of, I suggest you sign up for ICE, or maybe one of the crews that's working on that ballroom. Then maybe he might take care of you. You don't trust the black. You need to hear from a white person. Okay, you're in luck.
One more quick reminder that the propaganda about who is receiving SNAP benefits is absolutely not correct. And so when people don't receive their SNAP benefits in November, what will happen? Well, it's possible we'll see another January 6th type situation with the same cast of characters. Because according to Social Explorer, nearly 79% of SNAP recipients by county in 2024 favored Donald Trump. And here is the racial breakdown by percentage of who is receiving SNAP benefits in this country. And as you can see, It is majority white by a large percentage. So if there are riots in November, who will it be? Don't get me wrong, this is an incredibly sad situation, and it is not something I want to see happening, in particular because it also affects children. But I am tired of seeing MAGA videos trying to paint SNAP benefits as something that does not pertain to them, because the data is telling a completely different story. I know y'all love to say, get a job, get a second job, get a third job. Well, can we possibly admit now that perhaps we're not getting paid fair wages? Because it seems like the advice you're giving other people isn't working for you either.
Damn! Put your glasses back on.
And in fact, before we go forward, the guy that was out here talking about get a job, he looked familiar. Ain't that the same dude on social media who be coming down on black people talking about why don't you just comply? Who got arrested and had to be tased to be brought in?
The TikToker, the older millennial who is a right-wing creator, was just arrested yesterday for resisting arrest. People just now found out that he was arrested yesterday for violating his parole and then also resisting officers. Now, he's pretty big here on TikTok. I think this is like his third account that he's had. He's verified and everything, 500,000 followers, and one of his most recent videos was actually talking about how people should follow the law, and people have decided to turn that around and absolutely laugh at him. The crazier part is that apparently this is supposed to be the arrest report that this person posted right here, and they even said in the police report that he did not want to listen to the police officers, turned around, tried to walk away, and they tased him. Now, it looks like he was able to post bail for the resisting arrest. However, because he violated his parole, meaning he is a repeat offender, they have not bailed him out as of today.
You know? You would have thought that electricity would have jolted some sense into him, but, you know, I guess maybe in the budget cuts, you know, they pulled back on the sense-giving tasers. You know, I know that we had sense-giving tasers, but I think Doge took those away. And to be clear, the question isn't why are there over 40 million Americans on SNAP? The question is why so many people who are gainfully employed make so little that they qualify for it. Quote, if you don't work, you don't eat. People on SNAP are working, and that's the problem. The belief that 40 million people are lazy instead of the reality that millions of Americans are being exploited. I do agree, millions of Americans are being exploited. In fact, all Americans are being exploited. All you have to do is look at the deals that Trump is cutting with foreign governments. That's all you have to do. And I find it fascinating that even in this moment, you choose to look down for reasonings why your life isn't better and trying to take money and benefits out of the pockets of the folks that have the least. I mean, there's crabs in a barrel, and there is MAGA trying to celebrate something like this while Don Jr. gets another government contract and Trump himself dances overseas while having a ballroom built. I mean, only a fool would make a case for that.
Your food stamps are going away effective November 1st. So I keep seeing videos where everyone's complaining and crying and so scared because allegedly their EBT SNAP benefits are going away effective November 1st. And I've seen all these videos where people are saying Trump is taking away food from people right before the holidays. So let me just remind you of something in case you've forgotten. Food stamps, EBT, SNAP benefits, Section 8, that is all under a government assistance program of which taxpayers who work pay for. There's no bank somewhere that has a stash of money that's sending to you because you don't work.
That's sad. That's sad. They don't even give Black MAGA like the updated talking points. You know what I mean? Just basic core tenets of the program. She not getting right. Just out here saying, like, even like a real life MAGA wouldn't take pride in that right there. I don't know what you was trying to accomplish, but what I would love for you to address right here, since it's see no racism, speak no racism, acknowledge no racism, How about the AI videos of black women complaining about their SNAP benefits? Yeah, how about that? Because there's the part where we completely mischaracterize who is on SNAP, and then there's the part where you weaponize those stereotypes to amplify the degradation of people who look like you. And you want to give a voice to it without AI.
This is AI. Here's how we know and why it matters. It's made by Impossible_ASMR1, who, after 8 failed slot posts and a 3-month break, decided that Sora could finally make their dream content. Videos of black women trying to use EBT in places it's not accepted. True creativity unleashed by AI. The shutdown created an opportunity to have them yell at the camera, but it's not till the whole family's back there that the full racist stereotype is fulfilled. This is rage bait, and we'll get angry commenters who, when they learn it's AI, will say, oh, but it's true anyway? Which of course it's not, and that's cope for being played. They were so played they didn't notice the kid missing half an arm while the other kids are frozen in place for no reason, and these down here are warping together. They were too focused on this fake AI person cramming in a script that they used 3 other times for their other fake AI people. I will gladly knock down AI rage bait of all kinds and from anywhere on the spectrum because it's part of the same problem, casually letting our feed slip into fake, parallel AI universes that exist only to divide us.
By the way, are we sure that that wasn't AI? Because that really seemed really on the nose, Black Maga. Like, just no self-awareness. Oh, no? That was a real life person? Wow. That's crazy. I need to be there. We need some cameras on her when she sees the fallout and who's affected. It's really going to shatter the spirits of the Black Magas to see white people struggling like this.
So just because I don't want to work 20 hours a week, which is crazy. Can you imagine having to work 20 hours a week? So I don't want to work. You take all of my benefits away. The benefits that you have allowed me to use for 13 years with no warning at all. The government has enabled this behavior for 13 years to where I have not had to work a day in my life. 13 years of almost $10,000 a month in government aid. And now, because you signed some stupid bill that says I have to work if I want to get food stamps, and because I don't want to, you take it all away, no warning. How am I supposed to feed my 6 kids? How am I supposed to support my 6 kids? How am I supposed to pay rent? How am I supposed to get my nails done? How am I supposed to go drive down to the corner store when I have no money for gas? And you want me to go get a job, but you don't want to give me gas money. This is how the real world works? At 35 years old, now you decide you want to take it away?
Oh, don't go nowhere, Black Magas. Don't go nowhere. Oh, you was gonna take her some biscuits? No, you should probably stay here and make more.
I've been on food stamps before because I had to. I was in a place where I needed them. I didn't live off of them though. I used them for as long as, I needed them for and until I found a job and started building up my life. Food stamps were made as a temporary thing for people to help you get back on your feet so that way you could eat in the meantime while you were trying to get up, back on your feet.
So let me get this straight. You were in the program. It helped you. But instead of going by your own real life experience and how it has helped your life, presumably, you want to believe the talking points, rhetoric, and propaganda that you get on cable news and right-wing social media over your own real life experience. On paper, I would have thought she was a Latino for Trump, but it didn't look like it.
Adults aged 18 through 64 who do not have children under the age of 14 and do not have disabilities are limited to 3 months of SNAP benefits every 3 years if they are not working or in a work training program minimum 20 hours a week. It's almost like you took advantage of the system and now you're mad that other people get those benefits. And I don't say take advantage in a manipulative way. You used the benefit available to you because you qualified at that time. Are you that dense?
You cannot go and buy whole food ingredients because you think they're too expensive. I think you're full of crap. I just went to Sam's Club recently and spent less than $400 and filled up my freezer and my refrigerator with whole food ingredients.
Do you even hear yourself? You just went to Sam's Club. For one grocery trip, you spent $400. Refer to my last video where you'll see the average New Jersey resident where this toad lives receives $194 a month per person. $6 a day. And she just can't find it in her little brain up here, rubbing her last 2 brain cells together to understand how someone who's bringing in, what did it come out to? About $1,600 a month after taxes to live on, bills everything. You can't understand why they don't just go to Sam's Club and fill up their cart for $400 with Whole Foods instead of buying processed canned goods that last, stable shelf life, high in sodium, keeps you full. Like, you have to try to be this illiterate. You really do.
Now, we've already seen the AI videos that were created for Black women complaining about SNAP, which, by the way, is its own admission, because you wouldn't need to create that content if there was an overwhelming supply of it. So either you are mischaracterizing behavior or who's on the program, or both. I take both for 200, Steve Harvey. That's the wrong show, isn't it?
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks.
So I posted about white folks on food stamps, and one thing I kept seeing was that welfare was created for white people. I knew that it was created during the New Deal, so I did some more research because I didn't really know the whole story, and I thank you guys for responding and helping me learn stuff. So during the Great Depression is when we saw the beginning of things like Social Security, unemployment insurance. But here's the kicker. When Franklin Roosevelt built those programs, he had to make deals with Southern Democrats in Congress, the same folks who were big fans of Jim Crow, to get the support of these racist white Southern politicians. The programs were designed to exclude farm workers, domestic workers, jobs held overwhelmingly by Black, Latino, and Indigenous people. So right from the start, Black and brown families were pushed out of benefits so that white people could get them. Then we move forward to the 1960s, and there's this war on poverty. It finally opened up welfare programs more broadly, and that's when food stamps became permanent. Well, permanent, we don't know what Trump's going to do to them, but they lasted a long time. And guess what? The minute more Black and brown families started accessing this help, the politics shifted. Welfare got a new image and a new target. By the 1980s and 90s, with Ronald Reagan and his gang, they pushed the welfare queen myth. That's a racist dog whistle meant to turn public opinion against safety nets by blaming Black women for poverty that white policies created. That's the truth, you guys. So yes, welfare was built for white people, and when others finally got in the door, they tried to burn the house down.
Now, let's also be clear that the welfare queens trope, which was drummed up by the Reagan administration in order to shift blame to disenfranchised communities so they could continue their grift at the top, was something that was unearthed by the Maga movement. In fact, that whole Southern strategy about the things that you used to be able to say, but you can't say anymore. So you find new streams of being able to create racial strife is something they actually take pride in. And what is particularly nasty work is they are literally giving away money right in front of your face while you fight with your neighbors about their benefits and still calling yourself America first. If you're okay with SNAP benefits being cut off right before Thanksgiving while Trump gives $40 billion to Argentina to bail out their tanking stock market, you're not only stupid, but you're a terrible effing person.
You ever see somebody set their own house on fire and then hand their neighbor $40 billion because their house needs a new roof? Welcome to American trade policy. This is so crazy. Just try to hold on. The U.S. slaps tariffs on foreign goods, claiming it will protect American farmers. Sounds tough, right? Except now, those same farmers can't sell their stuff overseas because other countries hit us back. Reciprocated tariffs. That's econ speak for they flipped us the same middle finger. So our beef and soy exports tank. Meanwhile, Argentina jumps in and fills the gap in the Chinese market. They loosen export taxes, flood that market, and start cashing in. And what does America do? We give Argentina a $40 billion bailout. $40 billion. To stabilize their economy. So now we've literally bailed out our own competition while American beef producers and farmers suffer. But wait, we're not done there. After bailing them out, the U.S. signs a deal to import Argentinian beef. That's right. The country that just lost beef sales due to this ridiculous tariff policy is now buying beef from the folks who replaced them. And when American ranchers complain, Trump offers them another bailout, similar to the 2018 bailout of $12 billion. What prompted the 2018 bailout? The same damn thing. Overly aggressive tariff policy by Donald Trump. Okay, so where's this money coming from for the new agricultural bailout? This is where it gets fun. From the tariffs the American consumer is forced to pay that started this whole thing to begin with. That's the loop. Tariffs hurt farmers and the working class. Bailouts reward rivals. Imports undercut ranchers. Then another bailout to fix the mess by the last one. Paid for by the American consumers getting charged for the same tariffs that launched this downward spiral in the first place. Every turn of this loop is paid for by us, the American working class. So what would have happened had we not imposed absurd, needless tariffs on China and every other country in the world? Nothing. None of this would have happened. We would be fine and inflation would have been down to the Fed goal of 2% by now. They call it trade strategy. I call it the dumbest game of buy high, sell low in world history. We are freezing foreign trade while squeezing the working class, all due to the ego of one man-child, and the folks who voted for him are either too naive to see how America is getting screwed or too proud to admit they were wrong. Folks, we can get through this easily if the administration would just acknowledge that tariffs are a tax on the American people and the working class and working poor are getting strangled while the top 1% gains more wealth than any other time in American history. I'm Lee Calvin with Rough Cut Media Network. More boots, less suits. We'll see you next time.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, if this actually goes down the way it's intended, right? If this goes forward and they're able to pull away people's benefits, there's only one natural conclusion.
To me, the only logical response to the government canceling SNAP benefits is for Americans to cancel the holiday season. Close the wallets. Close the wallets. You don't need to buy a turkey. You've had turkeys for the last how many years? You're good to skip a year. Black Friday hasn't Black Friday and I don't know how long. The deals suck. You don't need a new flat screen. You already got one from last year. Your kids have tablets. They have toys. They have electronics. They'll be good to miss out on 1 year. They'll be okay. Close the wallets. Cot boy. You know? We shouldn't be spending any money then. It makes no sense for, in response to the government taking food off people's tables, for us to then open our wallets and continue the economy as if nothing is wrong. It's time for a cop boy of the holiday season. The time of year where corporations make the most money, yeah, shut it down. Close the wallets.
I would say, to be clear, holidays have actually been canceled for me for quite some time. They've been canceled. My kid's too young to know like about the holiday. We gonna get to a point where I don't have that option. So now that I have that option, it's being exercised. Yeah. No, because when my daughter was a newborn, we got her a whole bunch of stuff, and she was playing with packing peanuts and bubble wrap more than the stuff that we actually purchased. I'm like, I should have just got her boxes. You know, that's all. She would have been fine with that. As for you, Maga, this is in fact what you voted for. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. And as you can see, we made it 600,000 subscribers. So you know what that means. We gonna party. So be on the lookout for notifications of a members live.
A house party. House party? The mother of house parties, man. A pajama jammy jam.
And of course, I gotta extend huge gratitude to all the people whose hard work have made 600,000 possible. Like my man David, whose work on the thumbnails is unmatched. Of course, our editors, Denzel and Boz.
The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. Buck Nasser, what can I say about that suit that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan?
And all of the fantastic mods going all the way to the very beginning with Mariana and Dank and Deshauna, Roberta, Larry, Wendell, Chernobyl, Midnight Oracle, Lovely, Nola, and of course, TJ, who just got added, Miss Ray, who runs the whole entire ship.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
And Regina, whose research has made all of these videos so much better than they ever could have been otherwise. And by the way, I think we have a new newsletter that you should check out as well. And I know she thinks I forgot her, but no, I never could. My girl, Kristen, who sent me this photo with her dope mug, and it looks fantastic. Thank you so much for all your hard work as a mod. Thank you for the pick, and thank you for being 10 toes down with the channel. And while we're on the topic of merch, some of you guys might have heard of a new website. That is the People's Getup. That is thepeoplesgetup.com. That is the site whose content you'll be seeing soon right here on the YouTube channel. You know, things get a little complicated when you cry and cross streams. So we couldn't connect it from the ReeseWaters.com. We had to develop a whole nother website. Don't even get me started. I'll probably have a members video just ranting all about that whole process.
I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you. And I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Thanks to my wife for that one. But check out thepeoplesgetup.com for all the merch you'll be seeing soon right here on the channel. You can pick it up right there. And by the way, there's lots of new stuff there and more to come for the holidays.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Is that a Who Raised Y'all shirt? Yes. Yes, it came recommended. What's that? Oh, the sixes? No, because I got 4 6s. I got 4 6s. So if you have 4, it nullifies it. 3 is a problem. If you have 4, then you good. Where I saw that? 2 Corinthians in the Trump Bibles. 2 Corinthians. That's what. So yeah. So I'm good.